If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
The Coach Adam Fossett Coach's Corner Show presented by the B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club. Coach, good morning. Big win over TC, 40-zip last week.
It was, yeah. We rebounded well from the Randolph County game, came out and playing on the road, this is the first homecoming that we got to play this year. So this time last year we were playing like 3 or 4.
It was a Raphael Johnson show.
Yes, yeah. Raphael had a chance to get a lot of open space and
Had a great run there.
Oh yeah, he put up 5 touchdowns on the night. Julius McCain had the other one, and it was 33-0 at halftime. We were able to go in and come out in the second half and score pretty quick. And
you don't teach those kind of moves like that.
No, I didn't teach him those. That's all on him. So. Good job up front. We got movement. Offensive line got movement up front. He was able to find holes. He's doing a lot better job reading the inside and outside zone for us and making things happen. So we just, we're wanting to continue to get better as we progress. He kind of makes it look effortless, and I didn't teach him that speed either, but that speed helps him out get to the next level.
How good is this guy?
He's pretty good. He's got a chance to be special, and I think he understands that. I think people around him understand that. We talk about maturing. Maturing as a leader, maturing as a student in the school, and things like that. So he has the opportunity to be a collegiate athlete. He has an opportunity to play at the next level. And explaining to him and even explaining to the other ones what that means is kind of tough at times, as far as the rigor that is involved in being a student athlete at high school is nothing like the expectations of being a student athlete at the collegiate level. So he's had the opportunity to go on a couple of visits already as a junior, and he was at UAB a couple of weeks ago. He's going to go. I think he's going to go to Faulkner and probably Huntington before the year's out. So he's kind of doing the state tour of a couple schools. But as the season progresses, he's already got right at 700 yards rushing on the season. He's got 12 touchdowns on the season. So he's putting up big numbers. He's helping us put up big numbers offensively, and he's also allowing us to utilize other weapons because they're focused on him so much. So,
yeah, you took advantage, B.B. Comer did, of several turnovers that TC had, and you put points on the board from those.
Right. Yeah, it was at one point in time, I think we put up 22 points in like 4 minutes or something like that is what we looked at. We scored, we kick off, and we get the fumble. They fumbled on the kickoff. We scored 2 plays later. And we kick back to them. We go 3 and out, and we score 2 plays later. So we put together points when we needed to, and that's kind of the key is you got to capitalize on opportunities. And we're again, it's such a building process with this. It's an understanding process of, we score, and then we get an opportunity to get the ball back. We've got to score again. So. You want them to understand the game. You want them to understand, hey, we may take a shot here and go for a big play here on second and short. If we don't get it, then we have an opportunity that we can run something to pick up the first down, or we may recover a fumble and take a shot at the end zone right away, or we have to pick and choose the plays based on down and distance. So. And it's funny because whether plays are going great or plays are going bad in a game, there's always somebody behind me telling me what I need to do. And I've got 40 seconds. Once the ball is dead, I've got 40 seconds to call the play and run it. So it's a lot more fast paced with the headsets on and being on the field than it is in the stands.
Defensively, goose egg for your defensive team.
Yeah, second shutout for our defense, and that's a lot for just the confidence of it. It's a lot for just for the work that they put in. My defense coordinator does a great job. Mike Watts does a great job. Just having the guys prepared, having the guys ready, He's, usually I'm a Saturday off guy. Saturdays I deal with everything else that I have to deal with, or watch a little college football, or hang out with my sons and family and things like that. Usually Coach Watts has got everything broken down by 4 a.m. Saturday morning and got it figured out, because after games he's still on adrenaline, so he goes ahead and gets it knocked out. So, but he does a great job getting those guys prepared. It's like this week. This week game planning has been so different because Welborn is a wing T team. We haven't seen anything wing T, So the guards are going to be pulling. We've got to make sure that we don't allow them to pull. Our defensive linemen. It's not about tackles this week. It's not about your stats. It's about keeping linemen off linebackers and things like that. So a lot of technical things that have to be told, a lot of technical things that have to be taught just in 4 days, basically, that are completely different than what we've been doing all season.
One thing that I noted Friday night is something that B.B. Comer it's not been a strength for the Tigers for a long time, and that's special teams, extra point and field goals, and you seem to be moving forward there.
We are. Trent Robertson has done a good job for us. He's gotten better as far as extra points, and he's 4 of 6 Friday night and does a good job. And the 2 that he missed were one hit the upright, and one was wide right or wide left. I can't remember, but he's done a good job with that. He's a senior. He wanted to play football, and said, "Can I kick?" So
everybody plays a role.
That's right. So it's good to get those points. It's good to be able to have it's good to be able to know that you can get them. You know what I mean? That you have a little confidence in it. And I've told him, I said, my confidence in us kicking an extra point is getting better and better as the weeks progress. You just got to keep getting better and better as the weeks progress.
My grandson, Zach, who's 9, he does the games with me, and he described Raphael Johnson as a beast. Well, you talking about a beast coming to town.
Yes.
Walter Welborn is just that and more.
Right. Walter Welborn, to me, they're probably the best team in our region. As far as rankings go, which I don't think rankings mean anything because we have a playoff system, but as far as rankings go, Piedmont's like number 2, and Walter Welborn's number 10 in the state. But to me, they're one of the best teams. They've got 22 starters back.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. The quarterback is the middle linebacker. He's probably one of their best players. He's also the head coach's son, so it's in his blood.
So quarterback and middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 9. He's Jet Smith is. He's a ball player. He's all over the field. He makes plays. He runs the offense. He does a good job with that. Their backs, they hit holes hard, and they're downhill. So technically, the linemen don't make mistakes. Defensively, the linemen are big guys that have good quick hands. So they're 5-0 for a reason. They put up a lot of points. They played Lincoln. On the north end of Talladega County, the first game of the year, they put up 60 points on Lincoln. So anytime a 3A can come in and put up 60 on a 4A, that's a lot of points. So it's one of those ordeals where, again, we've got to play technically sound.
What problem does a wing T present?
The big thing is a lot of misdirection. So, ton of misdirection, and they want to catch you trying to cheat with your eyes and trying to look in the backfield and instead of following keys and doing what you're supposed to do. So, a guy may think he's backside and the play's going away from him when actually he's about to get hit in the mouth by a guard or a fullback or even the quarterback will head that way and block for the fullback or whatever the case may be. So, they have a lot of wings involved on the edges. The wings will go in motion, and it's a headache to try and work for. It's a headache to try and defend because we're not a wing T team. So when you take what they do and you put it on a card and then you show it to our scout team offense, and you say, all right, we're going to run this. They're like, we don't normally do this. What do I do here? What do I do there? And there's a play card has the guys on it, and it has lines where everybody's supposed to go, and there's literally lines everywhere. So even I run the scout team offense for our defense, and I'm holding the card up, and I'm trying to figure out where everybody goes so I can tell them where everybody goes. So
and you're the coach.
Yeah, and I'm the coach. So that makes it tough. Just to prepare for, makes it tough to get ready for. The good news, I guess, is we'll see wing T for 2 weeks in a row, so we will be familiarized with it. After Welborn, we go to Pleasant Valley, and they're wing T as well. So
no easy pickings the rest of the year.
No, we're honestly in the meat of the region schedule. Right now, Welborn, Pleasant Valley, and then Piedmont. And then round that out with Weaver's struggling, but Weaver's still got athletes and a lot of things up there that are going in their favor. But Pleasant Valley, Welborn, and Piedmont are all three playing really good football right now. Coach Nix at Pleasant Valley's got those guys rolling. He's got, not even to look ahead, but he's got a couple linemen that are 6'6", 6'7", that are playing for him at Pleasant Valley. I know he's got a 6'7" sophomore playing offensive tackle. So they've got some big kids up there, and they're running the wing T. Piedmont's always got athletes, and Piedmont played for a state championship last year, so they've got a tradition of winning and just being in certain situations. So, but the schedule is what it is. Our guys. And again, our guys, I've told them all week, I'm looking for execution and effort. I'm not looking for, I don't need you to be somebody you're not. I don't need you to try and carry the whole team on your back. I need you to execute and give me effort. And if 10 other guys can do that, then we're going to be okay. So, if you look at it on paper, we're supposed to lose on paper. If you look at it stat-wise, we're supposed to lose stat-wise. But, I told our guys we don't play on paper. Anything can happen. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day,
Confidence, BB Comer, 2 wins on the season. How much confidence do you see in this still young team?
Right. This group's a lot different than the group we had last year. There's more confidence to them. There's more. They're just more used to expectations. So even if we throw a wrinkle in practice, in the practice schedule, they adapt to it and they change to it and do a good job with it. So and they get it. So like Monday wasn't a good practice, and I told them after practice it wasn't a good day. And then afterwards, some of them were talking to me coming off the field, and they're like, "Coach, we did awful today. We did terrible." And so they get it, and that's the key, I guess. If you can look in the mirror and say, "Yeah, well, I didn't practice very good today," and you can own it and admit it, then we're winning the battle with that, because it's not. There's a lot of kids. I've got 2 young sons that can't admit when they're wrong. So for a teenager to be able to admit, hey, we screwed up, we got to get better tomorrow, then we're headed in the right direction.
Carmichael to McCain, touchdown for BB Comer early on in the football game, and Carmichael has come on as well. He
has. Devontae has done a great job for us. He's on both sides of the ball, so when you have a situation where your quarterback's playing both sides, there's not a lot of time for adjustments. So I don't get him on the sideline very long. Maybe on kickoff, he's on the sideline before he goes out for defense, and it's a couple of adjustments, and he's like, I gotta go, and he runs off on the field. So, but he does a great job. For Devontae's one of those guys that he's 5'9", but he plays like he's 6'5". I mean, you can't tell him you can't say, hey, there's no way you can do this, because he's going to prove you wrong. He does a good job just commanding the huddle and commanding the offense and getting the guys lined up and things like that. And he handles adversity well. He's a couple of weeks ago at Randolph County, nothing was going right. He was on the run a lot, but he's still throwing the ball on the run. He's making completions on the run. He's making stuff happen. So He does a great job for us. Julius McCain is a kid he's a late bloomer type kid. He's another kid that he's a senior that he could play at the next level, and he could go to a small school and make somebody a really good tight end that can put his hand in the dirt, or can flex out and play receiver, because he's got that type of frame where he can add about 20, 30 pounds and be a big target in the middle of the field.
A young man, and I don't recall his name, but he got playing time at running back, and he's an 8th grader. And I saw this kid and I thought, this is one of those kids that can develop into some kind of running back.
Yes, Kamor Harris. Kamor Harris is he's an animal. He plays fullback for us. He's played receiver for us. He's played tailback for us. He's played linebacker. He's played defensive line. He
8th grade.
Yeah, 8th grade. Yeah, he gets to play on Tuesdays for JV because he is in 8th grade. So he has a few quarters that he can play on JV, and he's one of those kids that's going to be special, especially if he just stays the course and continues working hard and continues doing what he's supposed to do. He will be special. And we've got Chris Wilson is another 8th grader, number 53. He's 6'4". and plays offensive and defensive line for us. He's another 8th grader that, I tell him all the time, in a year you're going to be looking down on me because, he looks me in the eye as an 8th grader. So, but yeah, those two guys and a couple of our other young guys are really coming along. And the getting the reps has been, getting game reps, getting actual, in action reps has really helped them a ton. It's one thing to get practice reps against guys that but when you're an 8th grader and you're out there against Randolph County, you're out there against Walter Welborn and Piedmonts and Pleasant Valleys of the world, that's where you grow up, and that's where you figure out if you're going to be part of it or not.
Walter Welborn tomorrow night kick at 7:00, and it is a key region matchup for B.B. Comer and Walter Welborn. B.B. Comer really trying to get to where the Walter Welborns of the world are.
Right, no doubt. It's about building the program. It's about where you are. I did a radio interview the other day, and one of the questions was, if your program was a report card, where would you put you? And I said I would say we're above average. We're above where I want to be, but we're not where I want to be. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to get better. But we look at the realities of where were you 2 years ago, where were you last year, and where are you now? And again, we see all of it as a coaching staff and as a head coach. We see everything. We see the ins and outs of practice and preparation and everything else, whereas somebody else may only see Friday night. And I know that we prepare differently, that we work differently. So I can see that. I can see that preparation. I can see that we're doing things differently and doing things at a higher level than we did before. So, and the expectations just continue to get higher and higher as you move forward. So, a lot of games left. It's hard to believe that we're starting the second half of the season. A lot of games left. A lot of opportunities out there left to one, get better, and two, win some ball games. So. We'll prepare every week and get after it every week and see what happens on Friday nights.
All right, B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club presents Coach Adam Fossett Show every Thursday morning here on Daybreak Live. Coach, good luck to the Tigers tomorrow night against Walter Welborn. We'll touch base with you again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
More Daybreak just ahead.